Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Everyday Psychic Radio. This show features healing and guidance and readings for everyday people just like you to find your way to your highest self and living your best life. Featuring Psychic Jenny McDaniel and your host, Drew Pillow.
Hi, everybody. You have Jenny here, and Drew will be joining shortly. And I just want to welcome our very special regular addition to the show. So when Drew changes the commercial, that'll be updated. We have Jennifer. Jennifer, how are you doing?
Excellent. Having a great Mother's Day. I have 3 kids, and they always treat me like I'm the most important woman in their lives.
And I'm sure you are, and that's wonderful that you get to feel that deeply like that. Did they make you a little breakfast in the morning?
You know what's funny is normally they do, but today, no. I'm like, what? What happened? Normally every year they make me breakfast in bed, but this year not so much. It's crazy. I don't know why.
Changed. Yeah, you got used to that. Now it changed.
I know.
You're like, where's my eggs? I'm hungry. How about the coffee? Juice too.
Why am I making this myself?
I love it. Well, happy Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to all the listeners. And I want to send a good flush of white light to all of the heart chakras of all the mothers who put in, day out for others and people around them, not only their own children. Just like you, Jennifer, put yourself out there as a healer and you're a mother and a wife. I mean, and you nurture yourself. You're killing it. Congratulations.
Thanks.
In a good way.
Good.
Anything in particular you think we should talk about while we bring up a few callers here?
Well, I want to talk about the full moon this week because I live across the country from you, and it was very beautiful in my yard, but not, sometimes they come really close to the earth and they're great. But for whatever reason, on full moon day, I was in the best spirits ever. What does a full moon mean to you, Jenny?
Like a final finale fruition party theme where, the new moon feels like more planting seeds, getting some plans going, getting it in gear. Full moon is the end result of all that work that month and kind of like a celebratory, energetic space. I'm really affected by the moon, and I just absolutely loved the last one we had, that super moon. It's our last super moon of the year, I heard. So we'll do some research on that, see if that's true or not. But it was pretty wild. So I loved it, and I got to see like so many beautiful pictures all over social media, like up close. People must have little telescopes they put on their phone or camera and just get real close. And I'm like, man, that was a good one. So I felt good too. I was in high spirits. Sometimes I might feel zapped, from a full moon and a little lethargic, but this one I had a lot of energy. Now I'm kind of getting the kickbacks today. I'm a little tired today, so I think the excitement of it all, wore on me a little, and I'm resting a little bit more today. But it is Sunday, so that's a good day for that. What about you? What does it mean to you?
Usually when I see a full moon, like I love the way it looks. Love it. Mm-hmm. In Michigan, there were points where I'd be driving home from my class, and I could see it hanging and turning orange really low in the sky, and it seems like it's almost landing on Lake St. Clair. And I, too, had that. It was like a euphoria. I think it was Thursday. Very euphoric, really no explanation, but that's fine. I'm going to take that. And then yesterday and today, the energy's there, but it's not the same as it was before, which leads me to believe, I'm thinking, if we're that affected by something we have no control over, we're so much in control of ourselves that we could be like that all the time if we put that much effort as the moon just, nudges us in a certain way. If we nudged ourselves in a certain way, why not have that euphoria every day? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I have chosen to be a professional psychic because I get to experience euphoria every time I do my work, or most times I do my work. So yes, I agree. We should always feel euphoric if we get an opportunity. Do you feel like your emotions kind of get a little wonky when the full moon comes in, or no?
It depends. Like this last one, no. In the past, though, not so. It doesn't affect me as much as other people, which is funny because my moon is Pisces. So you would think I'd be very sensitive to things, but I don't feel like, other than that euphoria or something good, I don't feel weird, but I'm keenly aware on those days of the aberrant behavior of others. Working at the bank, someone would say, "Is there a full moon?" And I'd look at the calendar and I'd go, "Yes, there is." And then that would explain everything.
I have a couple friends who are psychiatric nurses, and they're like, brace yourself. They're like, if you think that that's like an old wives' tale with no validity to it, you're wrong. I work in the field. I'm constantly doing research. People get nuts. So
that's funny.
I want to tell everybody that's tuning in, we are Everyday Psychic Radio. I'm Jenny, and I'm here with Jennifer, and we're going to be doing some psychic readings. And so we're going to be bantering just for a few more moments, and then we're going to start with the calls. And I wanted to bring up the topic of fear a little bit, just talk about that for a little bit and start alchemizing and clearing some energy around that, because as we start to open back up, I guess we'll say, I see a lot of people getting concerned, and there's conflicting, of course, ideas of whether or not people should be opening up so soon. But either way, the fear and the stress isn't going to help the situation. So I invite everybody in from now into the future to really see that fear and stress as like drinking poison and not good for you. And the best way to alchemize that is to change its dynamic. So changing the fear into curiosity, or excitement or wonderment is going to be so important, not only for the trickle effect to the world, but for your own sanity and your own adrenal glands and your own nervous system, because this is the beginning of big changes. We're not going to really fully ever go back to the way we were. So we're in the beginning stages of change, which require more of a long-viewed look as opposed to a short sprint. So I just suggest everyone work with their nervous system, work with their adrenals, take some vitamin Bs, take some lovely adrenal herbs. You can Google adrenal herb blend for $8 and you can get so many choices, and it'll be 2 months supply. Give yourself that. If there's something to be said about taking care of yourself too, and often as healers we'll put ourselves on the back burner. So be sure you take care of yourself, because this is just a continual event, just like it was a continual event before the coronavirus. It's going to be a continuation of events changing and sculpting our future, which really is exciting. It has a little bit of fear around it of the unknown, but it's exciting at the end of the day. Anything to add to that before we hop to a caller, Jennifer?
Oh, yeah. No, just when you're moving through all of this, and I totally agree about the fear, also, don't be in fear of yourself. If you see something that's happening that you don't believe is right and it doesn't resonate and it affects you directly, stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself, or stand up for someone else who may not be in a position to stand up for themselves. For example, if you're waiting in line somewhere and there's a little old lady or man or someone in a wheelchair, and you have the opportunity to let them go in ahead in front of you, do that, or you're going to feel guilty about it and wonder, why didn't I do anything? People, think it through. Think, is this for the highest and the best? And then go ahead and do that, rather than sit back and hope that someone else does it. Because then you'll just feel bad about it if you don't.
A call to action. Make moves in the world that represent your heart energy and your compassion. Brilliant. All right, let's jump to the first caller. We have a caller from 415. 415, you're on the air. Tell us your name and your question.
Hi, this is Anne from California.
Hi, Anne from California. What's your question?
What kind of job? I want to move into a different type of job than what I did before this. So what do you see me in a new career path?
Jennifer, do you want to take this one, or shall I start us off? We can bop back and forth like we did last time.
Sure. Yep. No. Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool. All right, Anne, let's just take a look here, because they're saying, there's lots of jobs. That's definite, and they're available. What they're saying is the amount of energy that's around you that needs to be shifted before that happens. So yeah, there's jobs available. But in order to get there, they're saying a lot of fear, stress, and anxiety are sitting in your space. They're saying it's actually consuming your thoughts and your body a little bit. So they're saying if you want to make any moves, for example, for you, for now, you want to move into maybe a different job or a job or however that looks for you, they're saying go ahead and start working with your fear and stress. They're saying that is sending like lightning bolts to the universe, and it's making the universe think that you're overwhelmed, and it's not going to be able to produce the abundance that you want because of those razor sharp energies that are flying out. Again, normal to be in the state as a human on this planet dealing with this. It's going to bring forth energy that is heavy, but what they're saying is go ahead, work with your stress and anxiety, and simply make the moves that are required to get a job. Is there one clear path? There's a bunch of paths. You get to pick which one, and this takes you taking the time to say, ask the questions. What is it do I want? Do I want something close to me? Do I want something within 20 minutes? Do I want something in the public, out of the public? They're saying you're the determiner. A psychic is just looking at the energy flow and the trajectory. So they're saying if you want to move into a space, put that trajectory out there. We just see neutral right now. If you don't change or do anything, nothing's going to change or do anything. They're saying if you want a job, put the efforts into physically moving into the space of getting a job. But they're saying it will be wildly helpful to really start alchemizing those anxieties and stresses for your own health and for abundance in manifesting things that you want in the universe. And from California, we appreciate you for calling. All right. Anything you want to add, Jennifer?
For Anne, I did pick a card, and what I got was basically her looking upon the expanse of what she could do, but still at the decision-making process. It's like there's no passion there, and she's not being pushed in one direction. So it's about decision-making and manifesting, about deciding what it is that's going to bring her joy. And instead of what's going to pay the bills, more of what's going to bring me joy and what will bring me the most satisfaction. But I don't see any decisions being made yet on her behalf.
And that is very important when you want to manifest things in these three-dimensional existences, which is putting the thought into movement, and then you get some results. Maybe not when you think you should, but at some point. So yes, making the decisions would be a wonderful place to start, clearing any fear and stress so the decisions come in more clearly, and then moving forward with the resumes and so on and so forth. Wonderful. Thank you for that, Jennifer. And let's just pop to one more caller, and then we'll take a minute break. We have a caller from the 256. 256, you're on the air. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and what your question is.
Yes, my name is Kimberly. I'm calling from Tucker, Georgia, and my question is about romance.
Anything in specific or just in general?
Just in general.
All right, I'm going to hand you over to Jennifer here in a moment. Jennifer, do you want to take this one?
I will. Hi, Kimberly. The first thing when I'm tapping into your romantic energy is I'm getting a lot of strength. Now, I need you to confirm this for me. Is your romantic past, did it give you reason to have to be strong, or is it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So your romantic past has given you the strength. And the person that romantically would be best for you is someone who can handle that strength, which usually means that it's this person who sometimes on the not so positive side, it's someone who is looking for a mother figure, which you don't want to be, because you're looking for a partner, not a child.
Right.
And there are, because I do feel like you've come across men who will have you or want you to do stuff for them. Now, or women, I don't know. So what I'm feeling is if you take that strength and I'm not saying tone it down, I'm saying turn it around a little bit and because there's strength and softness as well. So what I'm being told is that that soft side of you, which is the very beautiful side of you, is also strong, and that's what in the beginning parts, that's what's going to attract the desired mate that you want, if that makes any sense to you. Do you have, and it's not about changing who you are. You're still very strong, but you're also showing that softer, more vulnerable side of you. Because if you don't show that side, you're not going to get the equal partner, because that equal partner wants to be able to help you or provide for you, not necessarily help you, but be a complement to you. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. But you know what? I like to go with time frames too. So I know it's, do you have anyone in mind right now, Kimberly?
I do not.
Okay. So this is good because you're working from a clean slate. And I do feel like you've gotten rid of your attachments from the past with your mighty sword, strong, cut. You've done that work. Mm-hmm. And you've gotten yourself to the point where, you know, you're pretty content in who you've become. You know, there's a few things you'd like to tweak here and there, but no big deal. We're always evolving. However, by August, which is sort of coincides with people being able to go outside again, that's when you'll find someone who will be more suited to you. So he's got glasses, and he's really smart. He's very smart, but I don't necessarily think that he has the type of job that he has to think too much at, because I feel like he's been doing his job for about 20 years, if that makes any sense. And I don't feel like you know him yet. But he's not someone that looks like someone that you would have dated in the past, but I like him. He does have a little bit of a gentler energy, but don't misinterpret that for weakness. It is actually just he's strong, but in a different way. He's not in-your-face strong. He's more of a, let me watch the situation and let me see how this unfolds. And I'm going to, he's got grace, which is something I really admire in people. People who can look at a situation and not react. He's not a reactor. So I feel like you'll meet him in August. I feel like he's chill. I think that's the word I would use. Very chill. But glasses as well. Yeah. So, and I feel like you get out enough that you will end up running into him. It's not, you're not holed up, hiding from the world. You're out there. You do this, you do that. And when someone says, oh, I want to introduce you to this person, and I feel like this has happened in the past, you go, oh, do these people even know me? But this person, if it comes up, just, don't take it for what it is at first. Go beneath the surface. And it's like he's got a name with an N in it, but it's not a name I've ever heard before. So I'd probably butcher it and you'd be looking for the wrong thing, but it's a strong N. I don't know if that's the first name or the last name, but I got a strong N, and I'm getting August for you. Hope that helps, Kimberly.
It helps.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling in, Kimberly. I'm going to put you on mute.
Okay.
Wonderful details there. Yeah, I dig that, Jennifer.
Cool.
Anything you want to say in between a couple of the readings, or shall I just continue on?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's all good. It's unseasonably cold here. What about you in New Mexico?
It's a little bit chilly today. I went for a walk before the show today, and it was nice. Had a nice warm sun, but the wind had a little bit of coolness in it. So it was a little bit cooler than usual here too, but still beautiful and sunny and probably like 70 degrees.
Ah, nice. That's a nice day here.
And if for the first-time listeners, Jennifer is in Canada. She's across the river there from Detroit. Is that right? Did I get it right?
That is correct.
So she gets a little bit of that cooler weather. I'm so excited because she works with us on Heart Over Ego, and we're like, ooh, we're multinational now. Look at us. Ooh. She's just over the border, but still, she's Canadian.
That's right. That's right.
Let's go ahead and get the next caller on. The caller is calling from 303. Area code 303. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And your question.
Hi, my name's Allison. I'm calling from Arizona.
Hi, Allison from Arizona. Oh, you got hot over there, huh? Just one state over, and you're feeling the heat.
I saw in the news that the upper country is getting a cold spell, and I'm going, oh God, I so wish I could change places with you guys.
Get a little bit of that coolness. Yeah, because this is just the beginning of the year. You guys are going to get wicked hot in the next couple months.
Oh, until September. It doesn't go back down. We had 100 in April, and which is very big news here because once it hits the triple digits, then it pretty much stays in the triple. It might dance around a little bit, but most people here dread the triple digits because we know what that means. So we hit that in April, a little earlier than usual. But now we're supposed to get a cold spell in the next week. So it's supposed to get down to only like 97, 96, and then it'll.
Oh, jeez. And you guys do have the heat over there.
Oh, and
it's like you could bake outside.
Too. It's
I dig on the dry heat.
Crying contest, sidewalks.
Hey, Allison.
Crying contest.
Allison, we have to limit your time on the show here, so we want to get to your question. Unless you want to just talk about the weather, which is fine with me too. But I figure you have a question.
Can you just do a general? I have a couple things on my mind. Or do you need a specific?
Sure. Well, if you want me to talk about those specific things, okay. Because the general is going to be general. It might not hit those specific things. I'm just getting it from spirit, which is different than the human desire. So let's just take a look. The first card I get for you is the Five of Cups, which is a man with his head down, and there's some cups spilled, and there's a little bit of emotional stuff going on there, a little stress. I can't imagine why a human would feel that right now. No, they're just saying just in typical, there's some stress and anxiety, and we're just going to start bolstering that while we take a look at the next card, which they're saying is the Six of Wands. And what they're showing is a wand with a wreath at the end of it just growing all kinds of beautiful green ivy. So they're just showing that you are in the next couple of weeks going to get some kickbacks for some efforts that you put in. I don't know what this is. I'm not getting all the details in 5 minutes, but what they are showing are some kickbacks of some efforts that you put in, which no one's going to be mad about. The Three of Pentacles, it does look like something with the home, some finances, some movement there. Again, not a lot of details. The next card you get is the Lovers. Do you have a partner?
I do not.
Well, it looks like there's some Lovers energy coming up in the next month. So all that does is offers you an opportunity for a potential, potential opportunity would be the way to say it. So you get the Lovers card in about a month and a half out. So that's interesting. But the next one is the Three of Swords, which are swords in the heart. Do you have some stress around relationships?
I have stress around it's a family matters.
Then that's what it could be too. So we're just going into the heart chakra and doing a little bit of clearing, a little energy work while we look at the symbolism of the cards. Because the Lovers doesn't necessarily have to be an intimate relationship. It can be family, of course, and it can represent many things, but it also can represent opportunity. So if the next one is the Three of Swords and you're saying you're having some family stuff, that's definitely what it's representing. So again, they're having you look inside your heart chakra. It looks a little bit heavy. So I'm going to clear out your heart chakra for the next minute here. Just follow along with your mind's eye. So the heart chakra keeps getting smaller. So every time I try to open it up, it wants to close down, and this just means it's experiencing some heaviness. Again, very normal in this day and age of what we're experiencing, especially if you're having the family stuff. So just imagine with your mind's eye, please, your beautiful green spinning wheel of light in your heart chakra area is growing and moving. And what they're saying is this is going to be real important for you to continue putting energy into your heart chakra. They're saying the things that you're going to be asking of yourself are going to be requiring you to put yourself out there in a vulnerable way and be, I guess, troubled a bit by it. So they're saying keeping the heart chakra open and keeping it clear is our best defense of letting attacks in. They're saying keeping it strong as opposed to hiding it, keeping it small is a better tactic. So they're saying you don't have to be a master magician to do energy work. It's a very basic thing that is just thought. So they're saying, please apply to yourself the medicine of energy or prayer or thought, however you want to think about it, and just see your beautiful green spinning wheel of light, heart chakra, perfect, spinning, circular, and glowing, because they're saying that is you. It'll take 2 seconds. That's you giving yourself a boost of energy from yourself. And they're saying very commonly, we worry ourselves into a hole and don't put ourselves on the front burner of things that we might need, good foods, nutrition, good thoughts, healthy thoughts. So what they're saying for you is there's going to be some kickbacks coming up in the next couple of weeks, and there's going to be some movement, but they're saying that the Knight of Swords is the card that's representing you, which is master with swords. No one's cut, the sword's down, it's in the holster looking thing. You're in control of it. They're saying work with your anxiety and bolster it and maneuver it. They're saying if you can alchemize your anxiety into at least neutral energy, your adrenals will love you, your nervous system will love you, and you'll be able to get through these difficulties with more ease and grace. They're saying ease and grace is the name of the game. Worry doesn't do anything but it's like praying for what we don't want. They're saying the more worry is going to get you, more stress, and it doesn't change anything. So they're just suggesting you really start to be an energy alchemist in changing the dynamics of stress and anxiety into at least neutral energy and or curiosity or just understanding. Hey, it's out of my hands, just understanding. So we appreciate you for calling today, Allison from Arizona. I hope you keep enjoying that warm weather and get yourself into some cool water or some cool spaces. We appreciate you so much. 100 degrees already in April. Ooh, that's high temps.
Oh, yeah.
So anything you want to talk about and on your heart or mind, or anything you want to add to that last reading?
For Allison,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the she was talking about her family. There are a lot of things that get left unsaid because of past experiences and fear of, poking the bear and that sort of thing. And it's not that she needs to say them or the other person needs to say them, but they need to be expressed on some sort of energetic level because the repression of it, does cause the stress, does cause the shrinking of the heart chakra, that sort of thing. So if you don't feel like you can express this to the other party, I would suggest having your higher self talk to their higher self before bed or during relaxation, that sort of thing, so that on some energetic level, that communication's being had. It doesn't have to, and you don't even have to know what the experience of the communication is. Just know that you've set the intention and it's happened. And you'll find, especially if you live with someone, you'll find that there's a change to their demeanor the next day, and things just end up resolving themselves because you have created the energy for that. The end.
Beautiful. I love it. And while we're waiting for the phone lines to fill up a little bit more, do you want me to put out a 6-month spread for you?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to put you on mute for just a second, so if you just want to talk for like 10 seconds while I shuffle.
Right. So I, myself, if we're talking about tarot, I use the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and I've been using the same deck since I was 16 years old, so a long time. When you use the tarot, there's a book that I use called Tarot Made Easy by an author called Nancy Guerin. Makes it very easy for you to read for yourself, because when you're doing a reading, I don't know about Jenny, but you know the cards well enough that you can you can read them for whatever purpose you want. But when you're reading for yourself, your ego has a desired outcome. So if you use a book or some other mechanism, you're going to use the cards how someone else has interpreted the cards. So you tend to get more valid, more truthful answers than if I were just to put my own meaning into the cards, because, of course, you're going to spin it the way that you want it to be spun. But let's see what Jenny has for Jennifer for the next 6 months. So that would take us to November.
It's guiding you as well as I know that it's important as a psychic to be and the ethereal and the physical, and they're just showing you're doing an excellent job, and as you always have been, and just continuing to do that multi-dimensional thing that you just naturally do. So wonderful, fantastic. And of course, you can look into it however you want to. Like Jennifer said, it's perception. These pieces of art are just that, symbolic and artistic, and I view them a little differently with each person, even though they're the same 78 cards, and you form a relationship with them. Like Jennifer said, she's had her deck since she was 16, so, and it's good to go by what was indicated by other people who created it, so you can use that to form your relationship with the cards, because like Jennifer said, you'll just put your energy all over it, and, they might as well just, be specifically managed with your energy as opposed to the person who created them. So it's good to just kind of play with their energy a little bit while you're forming a relationship with that deck. So next card is the Page of Pentacles. Looks like there are going to be more opportunities with you speaking, and they're saying both worlds. So it looks like regular job and spiritual space too. So they're just showing more communication and finance. So what is it that you do? What's your day job, Jennifer?
Sorry, I had myself on mute. Currently, I am working from home, not doing anything, but it's a government job. Prior to that, I was in finance. So usually finance, government, that sort of thing.
Okay, because I'm getting, it's less of that and more of the spiritual space. So just in the next couple of weeks, don't be surprised if there's some, clients that come in or some money gets generated in that space. So it's just, it's one of my personal favorite cards of my steampunk tarot deck, which I'm using right now for Jennifer. It's a woman in these long cape and dress, and she's got the goggles on her head, and she's opening up a curtain, and she's presenting herself. So again, it could be work in some fashion, because surely, that could change too, but they're showing specifically with the read here, it looking like you're more attention in your spiritual world. So no one can complain about that.
No.
Especially when you do what we do for a living. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what was the first card? I missed that part.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of cut off when you were talking.
Temperance.
Oh, Temperance. Oh, my old favorite card.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, that's her managing the ethereal and the physical, very multidimensional, beautiful. So Temperance, and then the Page of Pentacles. And I'll send you a picture of this too, this round.
Perfect.
It's beautiful. And then the Seven of Pentacles, which is representing some choices in work, or money, or strategic movement with finance and money. So 1 month from now, so that puts us at June. It looks like you might get an opportunity for change or shift or choices. Again, beautiful. Just it's always nice to have some choices. The next card you get is the Hermit card. So we're going to take it down into a spiritual kind of internal reflection space. It looks like these, interesting. So, because what they're showing is choices. So I don't know if this is choices in the work that you already have, or new work, or movement in work, but what they're saying is you really kind of taking an inward look of how you feel about the job, like really taking a look at it from a space of, does this interest me anymore? And they're saying, we don't have the answer to that inward reflection for you, but you will. And that's the beauty of it, is you get to check in, and they're saying even if you do have to go into that job, it might just be temporary if it's one that doesn't suit your soul right now. So they're just showing a real, awareness and reflection. The next one is the Four of Wands. So this just looks like movement, organization. It could be an actual organization or an organization in the household. So in the next 2 months, it just really looks like movement, growth, people cooperating. So there could be they're saying it's more this though, and I'm like, okay, steer me. They're saying it's more her collaborating with other like minds, building up of community, or gathering people in a community. And I actually think I might have even saw that in a little bit of the reading we did the other day. So
you did, yeah.
And that would make sense. Maybe 2 months, everyone's a little more comfortable moving around and about and stuff like that, and kind of starting the movements of joining forces even. So And they're like, yeah, we'll hope for some functionality at home too. They're kidding. They're just saying, that one can represent that too. We'll go ahead and put energy around that as well. But the next one is the Wheel of Fortune, which is you taking a risk. And this is interesting because it's pointing back to that Hermit card where you're doing some deep reflections about something inside of you, something that's being presented. And it looks like you might just spin the wheel and not know what's going to happen, but go with it. So they're just showing, I don't know, just kind of like a leap of faith. It looks cool. I don't know what exactly they're showing. They're not showing a bunch of details, but the next one is the Nine of Wands, and that is you just looking into the future straight, making manifestation moves for the future. The next one is the Six of Swords, which is some sort of maybe vacation. It could just be a getaway. It doesn't mean you have to be going hours and hours and hours away, but that would put us in summer. So I'm imagining you have a little something that you guys want to do this summer, even if it's just doing something local. So that's about 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 months out. That put us in June, July, August. Yeah, makes sense. Right around there. Some vacation-y action if you're going to do it. The next one is the Queen of Pentacles, which is representing your money and your finance, and it looks good. It looks fantastic. There's more than you might even have had before. So it makes me think that this thing that you kind of take a leap of faith with here in the next couple months is really going to kick back some money. The next one is the Emperor. It's representing your husband and his place in your life. A very strong man there. So the next one is the Hanged Man, and this is just seeing things from a different view and enjoying the view. Next one is the Knight of Cups, which is a celebration in my mind of emotion. There's a cheers going on. Everything is in order. The cups aren't spilling. Everything looks fantastic. So some sort of congratulations, high five to yourself is going to be in order. Next one is the Justice card. They're saying that you get good karma. They're saying, of course, you work through some hard karma, but they're saying people like you also have excellent karma. And what they're saying is you're going to be reaping some of the benefits of that. They're just showing the universe catching your sales. And this is kind of like the kind of energy around this reading, which is kind of whimsical catching of the sales and offering opportunities and growth and abundance. So wonderful. Again, I don't know if that sits in what job that sits in, but let's just put the energy around both of them. This one is the one of serious choices, like around emotion and I guess where you put your energy. And that's about 5 months out. So they're showing the energy of you being strategic with your time, so you can be the most productive and just getting that in order in the fall. The Knight of Pentacles is more money being made. It's a continual flow, maybe not so many spikes and bursts like I was saying before, but a flow. So excellent. Seven of Swords is they're showing toward the end of the year, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months out. Going on 5.5 months out, they're showing there may be a bit of conflict. Maybe it has something to do with the holidays. They're showing maybe some kickbacks from the coronavirus kind of kick back up, and it just kind of brings up some stress and conflict. But what they're saying is this one isn't going to be as intense as this last one that we experienced, and that the money is always going to be there. They're saying that the balance of money is not going to fluctuate. So they're saying we can't guarantee that there's going to be fluxes of the coronavirus, but they're just pointing to that and saying some conflict. And then they're saying, but it's not going to eschew any sort of financial thing, because you're seeing the Six of Pentacles here, and there's enough for everyone. Two of Swords, managing that stress and continuing under that full moon. And the next one is the High Priestess, which is, I would say, if I had to put a tarot card on you, it would be the High Priestess. And she's the highest female in the deck. So this is just representing your incredible skills being growing and continuing, and any stresses and anxieties coming up, you're using the tools that you have. Then you have the King of Swords as well as the Magician. You land on the Magician at the end of 7 months, which is, again, an incredible flush of energy around the spiritual and the metaphysics. The Magician is the highest male in the deck. So, again, representing, of course, the man in your life, but also your magical skills, especially since you pulled it right next to that High Priestess almost. So Looks like there's going to be some opportunities in the next month, some choices. This is not this is good. Some inward reflection, some gathering of community over the next couple of months. Wonderful. Little vacation potentially this summer for you, and you get the Queen of Pentacles. No one's going to complain about extra money and a nice flow of money doing what we love. And then it looks like there's going to be some movement around viewing things from a different angle and getting choices and dealing with conflict. So it sounds like life is going to continue as usual.
No Hiroshima.
No Hiroshima. The only thing that it was even remotely close to that was they did kind of show around the end of the year some sort of spike in stresses. And again, it could just be people having a little post-traumatic stress disorder when the flu comes back around at the end of the year because of what we went through. So again, we're healers, so this is what we do, and we heal the people and we deal with the spikes best we can.
Well, thank you, Jenny. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how there was the temperance and the justice, so all that balance going on. Balance is so important.
And then that Six of Pentacles is basically the scales with pentacles all around it and in it, just balanced, and everyone's got enough, and people are handing it out. And I was like, oh, more balance there. Not too shabby. With what we've had so far this year, I don't think anyone's going to complain about having more balance in their existence.
No. Well, maybe the bipolar people.
Right. Yeah, they want the waves.
Yeah. Give me the highs. Give me the lows.
So, I waited around for another caller while I did your reading, and we didn't get one. So do you think we should catch out early? And
well, no, I owe you a reading.
Oh, well, you can do that.
That can be done.
Sure, and if we get a caller in that time, we'll take one more. Perfect.
All right. What do you want to know about? Want 6 months? I can give you 6 months.
Yeah, cool, yeah. I'd like to take a look at your spread for 6 months, too. That'd be fun to see.
All right. You just did mine.
Like, if you would take a picture of your spread.
Okay.
To read your 6 months, I'd like to see it just for fun. You
know what's funny is that the 2 cards that I got for you last time, the Death and the Tower, exact same positions again.
Ha ha. There is shifting and changing, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, okay, so in terms of 6 months, it's not really giving me. Right now, it's saying, the cards are saying I don't want to go out in 6 months. The cards are saying, you know what, we're in the here and now, we're staying in the summer, because things, as they progress, there's going to be a split in the road within the next 3 months, and it's going to be a choice whether to go left or right. So for me to go to 6 months, they're saying it would be impossible because that choice needs to be made in about 3 months, okay? Yeah, so we do, like right now, what's come and passed is there was a lot of energy shifting in end of March, April. So a lot of groundwork that you needed to do was done and ended in the period of Aries, if that makes any sense to you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there was a lot of work done at that point. Now, I remember having a hard time reading this before. The Death and the Tower are so close to one another. What's the really, if you thought about it, this period that we're in right now, we could think of it as a tower type of presence. And the tower necessarily doesn't need to be negative, but it's a bringing down of current framework to move into a new framework. But everyone looks at it in a terrible light, more or less. So, if we're thinking about it that way, yes, we can look at it. That's the society that we're in right now. I, too, for you, got the King of Pentacles, which to me, you have a different meaning for it than I do. To me, it's a very Gemini-type energy. So it means to me the period of Gemini or more of a Gemini persuasion. Of course, finances as well. But the way that it's crossing the death, I see that big changes in the time of Gemini. So we haven't quite hit Gemini. Oh, no, we are we in Gemini? No, that's the end of May, right?
Yep, so close-ish.
Okay, so we're closest to Gemini. So for you, there's going to be a turn of events occurring within the next month. And this is going to probably be part of the change, so we can't forecast down because decisions will be made. I too got the Hermit card for you as well. it's introspection, reflection, but it is reversed, so it's not as is about you dwelling on it, and you go out, you do seek other sorts of guidance for whatever it is that you're pondering. I feel like the male presence, that's stable, that brings you to where you are currently. There's a lot of other things that you've seen in your mind's eye of what's possible, but you are constrained right now. Either it's a current situation, or you're not ready to take that step yet, or everything's not aligned yet. But then we get into the decision card where you are at a crossroads. So I do get the crossroads within the next, from Gemini through to, I'm going to say, I don't think as far as Virgo, so I'm going to go to Leo. So from Gemini to Leo period, we've got you at the decision-making process. However, there is celebratory success, like celebration with the things that you do with other people. So it's like a meeting of the minds, a celebration, goals achieved, and goals, you've exceeded your goals. And I also see you, and it's funny because I do see this person as a cord cutter. The ultimate cord cutter, getting rid of the old, taking off the shelf, and allowing new growth to come up. So you are I'm going to give you Archangel Michael status for cutting through all the bullshit. So good reading. I like that. You got any callers or no?
Yeah, we got one caller. We'll take a caller and then we'll head out. It's perfect timing. I love that, Archangel Michael. Let's see, we got a 919. 919, you're on the air. Tell us where you're calling from, who you are, and what your question is.
Hi, my name is Kay, and I'm calling presently. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for taking the call. My question is regarding my relationship with my partner, but around her best friend. It's just weird. Her best friend has been in her life for decades, but it's so unhealthy. It is just a very unhealthy situation.
Yeah. And so do you want us to take a look at that relationship and that energy, or you can finish saying? Okay. Jennifer, do you want to start, or should I?
I'll go because I did pull a few cards.
Cool.
I feel like your relationship's very solid, Kay. So I feel it's a very solid relationship. And what I was telling, I think it was, Allison? I don't think that you've done enough work on an energetic level with this friend. This friend is, they're close, and it is unhealthy to a certain degree because there is some attachment there, their history, that sort of thing. There is that sort of attachment. But you have the capability, and it would be very good for your partner and for this friend, because this friend, the best friend, needs an outlet. She needs some sort of outlet on her own. She needs something else to occupy her. And this is what I've always said about bosses. I'll have a boss that I don't like, and instead of hoping they get fired, I just do everything I can to get them promoted and out of my face. So for you to set the intention, so for you to set the intention for this friend to, find something fabulous, because I don't think that you dislike this person intensely. I really don't. It's just it's not good for the relationship that you want to be having. You find it to be a distraction. So there's no bad intention on your part, but I do feel like if you did set the intention to have this person have some more successes that would take them away from your partner more, not that they have to not be friends, because you don't want to wish that on them, but the unhealthy attachment that they have to one another would be solved with this other person having other things going on in their life. So to set that intention and to wish that to happen would be very good for you to do. So, drive your higher self, talk to their higher self, And, of course, that person has to be willing to have this abundance given to them and the distractions.
Right.
So, but their higher self can work on that, because really, ultimately, I don't think this person wants to cause havoc in your relationship. Well, not so much you, but your partner's relationship. I think they're happy that they're happy. So that's, it's sort of a tangled web. So you have to approach it a little bit more cautiously. Do you have anything, Jenny?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to add some stuff there. They're pointing to your partner. So Jennifer covered some stuff with the friend, and beautiful, by the way, Jennifer. But what my spirit guides are leading me into showing you is there's something to do with a karmic connection between your partner and her friend. And this looks like lifetimes. So what they're saying is you can be the dispenser of good information, maybe not when she's having a rough day, but, you know, when you guys are calm and can talk and connect, say, I really think, you know, this is karmic, and some of the ways you can break this karma is to have better boundaries with the friend. And then that would be win-win, because she wouldn't have to get rid of her friend, but then she could start being the adult, I guess, or the going the high road, and start having better boundaries with the friend. So then the friend will probably respond poorly, but that's how she's always responded in these parallel lives and this one, when your partner tries to have some sovereignty, some separation, some individuality, some independence. This friend of hers is codependent and unhealthy, but in some levels, your partner's holding on to some of those characteristics too, to let it stay connected how it is. So they're saying kindly, if you want to help your partner, shine a light on the fact that this is karmic and boundaries would be wildly beneficial. It will be hard to instill them, and the friend will kind of kick back at it, but that's the friend's karma, and she needs to look at that and look at why she's responding in a poor way. So they're saying there's a lot for the friend to learn, for sure. She's got a lot more to learn than per se with your partner in this situation, but your partner needs to be the one that makes the boundaries, because the friend's not gonna. So they're saying boundaries, and then I pulled the high priestess for her. So she manages these boundaries. She's going to cut karma, and she's going to have freedom from the unhealthy relationship with her friend. She wants her friend to be healthier. She can help her friend be healthier by putting the boundaries, and then that just kicks back to you guys too, with ease and grace, less stress.
Right.
We appreciate you for calling.
Thank you so much.
Have an excellent day. We're here every Sunday.
Thank you. I figured it was a past life connection. I was very sure of that. So thank you. Thank you so much.
It's karmic, and that's even more reason to start breaking that karma, is when it starts to get layered like that, because it doesn't get easier when we keep coming back to learn it. So better now than later. We appreciate you so much. All right. I want to let everyone know that this is Heart Over Ego Radio, and this particular show is called Everyday Psychic Radio. We're here every Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Myself, Jennifer, and Drew, we do readings and free calls and free readings and free emotional support, and we do a little chatting too. So I want to invite you back every Sunday. If you want to go ahead and give us a call, the number is 323-642-1188. You can write that down, save it in your phone. Call every week if you want to. We'll try to get you in. We appreciate you. Jennifer, any closing words, or do you want to tell people how they can get a hold of you?
Sure. If you want to check out icdeadpeople.ca, I have a website, or healermedium@live.ca if you want to get in touch with me for a reading. And we are here every Sunday.
We are here every Sunday, and I'm Jenny McDaniel, and I do readings as well, and you can find me at the Alchemy Sisters on Facebook, as well as Everyday Psychic Radio, as well as thealchemysisters.com. We appreciate you. Take it easy, and until next time.